my friend, and welcome back. Today I would like to kind of piggyback off of the last video I did. And the last video was talking about being creative and being creative just for the fun of it and doing something just because it brings you joy. Now, what I want to talk about today is the feeling of doing something that brings you joy or being in a higher vibration, a joy vibration, a happy vibration, or even a neutral vibration when it feels like the world is so heavy. And by heavy, I mean, just going through a lot. And, it's almost like, how can I be in my joy? How can I just be creating for the fun of it? For example, say I want to paint. I want to do a painting just for fun. How can I be doing that when there is so much suffrage in the world, when there are people that don't have things to eat, when there are people who, lost their jobs or whatever the challenges that people are experiencing right now are going through. There's so much illness in the world. How can I just cast that all aside and mindlessly just be creating? Well, here's how and why. So let's start with the why. The reason is because you cannot help people by bringing yourself down to their level. And the best example of this is someone who is sick. Say someone has a cold and you want to help them. You do not help them by catching that cold yourself. That doesn't do anything for anyone. But what you can do is you can keep yourself healthy. You can keep yourself in a higher vibration. And say it's someone close to you, say it's someone that lives in your house and they're sick. Obviously the normal things, like you can make them food, you can tend to them a little bit, but by keeping yourself healthy, and let's say, by going and doing that painting. By doing that painting and creating just for that joy and you being in that joy, you are then raising your own vibration, which raises the vibration around you. So by just pure proximity, you would be lifting the vibration around that sick person, which then in turn will help them feel better, because we know that sickness and illness are lower vibrations, and lower vibrations can't exist when the vibration is higher or high. So therefore, by you raising your own vibration, you are helping to, I don't want to say cure, but you are helping that person who is sick mend a little bit faster. So that is an example of, that example applies to everything, Say you want to take on world hunger. You do not help solve world hunger by starving yourself. By starving yourself of joy, by starving yourself of food, by starving yourself of the beautiful human experiences that are around us. Just because others are suffering doesn't mean that you have to suffer as well. And by doing the inner work, by clearing your own lower vibrations, therefore allowing yourself to vibrate higher in general, by doing the work of reprogramming your subconscious and consciously being in, the God mindset with your eyes on God and the divine understanding that everything is perfect, and understanding that everything is okay and everything is going to be okay, and understanding that God is here for all of us, whether we are looking to him or not. It makes no difference of the way that God is in our life. So we can become more aware of it. We can interact a little bit more, but God is always there for every single one of us, even those who are suffering right now. And we don't know the lessons. Like, remember, us saying that someone is in suffrage is a judgment. God doesn't look at it that way. God looks at it as maybe it's your soul trying to learn something. Maybe you're carrying out vibrations that you put out in a past lifetime. They are now carrying over into this lifetime. We never really know what is going on. So therefore, us getting into that energy, especially getting into that energy to the point where you're feeling it, you're feeling that sadness, you're feeling that illness, you're feeling that suffrage, that is really not doing anything to help anyone. So by, like I said, doing your own inner work and clearing the lower vibrations from your energy, and by bringing in the new God, divine, highest light vibration into your body, and being in joy and being in love and being in neutrality, those are the things that are going to raise the tide. And we always talk about, a rising tide raises all ships. So that is why during these times, it is the most important to be creating and to be in joy and to find those moments of pure bliss and to bring your body into that feeling of the unconditional love of the divine. That is why it is the most important during these times, because the vibration that we're putting out into the collective is so important right now. It's so important. And part of our job as light workers, I've had a little section of a song stuck in my head, that I forget what the song is called, but the line of the song says, raise your weapons, raise your weapons. And as light workers, we know that our weapons are not the guns or, the typical weapons or the hate or the violence or anything like that. We know that our weapon is love. We know our weapon is the divine, and all of our guides and everything that is here to help us spread light. We know that ultimately the light is our weapon, regardless of how we choose to share it, how we choose to wield that light, that the light is our weapon, and how we choose to wield it is our life's mission, is our life's purpose. That is kind of what we're here to do, is to find out how we're here to spread the light and spread the freaking light. That is our weapon. This is our war. This is what we came here to do. So let us not get caught up in, because there's always that voice of guilt, How do you feel so good and you're so happy on a daily basis when there's so many people suffering? Well, we know now that is the ego. We know now that is the thinking mind, and we can acknowledge that. We can acknowledge that people are going through hard times. Again, it is that balance. It is that balance of knowing that, we are in dark times right now. We are in spiritual warfare. We can know that, but also know our part in it, and also know the part that we are meant to play in helping to, I don't want to say end this war, because I don't want to say it like it's a cut and dry beginning and end, but that, just to play our part, to wield the light that we were meant to wield here in a way that is unique to us, because we are all different, and that is the beauty of it. And that is almost the comforting part of it, is to know that as a light worker, you are here to wield the light, and you do that in different ways. We are not fighting the wars that we have fought in the past. Someone said to me yesterday that, oh, well, humans have been fighting since the beginning of time. It's gonna happen until the end of time. And it's like, well, it depends on what you think the end of time is. If the end of time is our enlightenment, and to start living from our hearts, from an abundant mindset and not from a scarcity mindset, then yes, it will happen until the end of time. But if you think the end of time is when we cease to exist, then I don't agree. I disagree, because I think that we are here to evolve. We are here to become enlightened beings, and an enlightened being lives from their heart. And when you live from your heart, when you truly live from your heart, you are living from a place of the divine. You are living from a place of abundance. You know the truth. You know that there is no death. You know that the only truth is the oneness. You know that we are all one. You know that we are all children of God. And you know that love, only unconditional love, is going to get us to the place that we need to be, that humanity needs to be. And yes, war in the way that we think about it will end. It will not be forever, because we are going through an evolution, and we are no longer in a state of revolution. We are here in a state of evolution, and that is the vibration that we are here to hold. We need to hold the light, and we need to wield the light as we see fit and as the world needs it. And yes, by creating and being in joy, you are fighting this war. By keeping your own vibration high, you are fighting this war. And we are winning. I see the light cracking through in almost every single area. You just have to look for it. If you are always looking for the dark, that is what you will always see. However, if you look for the light, you will always see the light, because the light is always there. So that is our message for today. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Anne, and I hope to see you next time.